Hi everyone, welcome to Wedding Wednesday, the first Wedding Wednesday. Um, yes, I am in my car. I was at the shop and I was like, oh, I'll record the video at the shop. I have my flower wall and I had to run out real quick and I said, it's going to be a quick video. I'm going to just use my drive time to make my video so I can go ahead and post it because it's getting late in the day and I wanted to do it before this evening. So Wedding Wednesdays is just pretty much we're going to post a question, a frequently asked question, or you guys can even post questions for the next Wedding Wednesday if it's something that you just are wanting to know and want to ask about wedding gowns. So today's question is, how long before the wedding should you get your wedding gown altered? I get this question a lot. So it's actually not just one answer. It can go a couple different ways. So I'm going to list about 3 to 4 ways that you will be able to gauge when you should get your gown altered. First, I want to say you want to check with your shop or your boutique, wherever you're getting your gown altered at. You want to check with them first because you want to take into consideration if it is wedding season, how many gowns are before yours. So check with your shop. I'm just going to give you kind of like a guideline, but sometimes it can take way longer depending on how big the shop is and how many gowns they have in queue to be altered. So I'll just start for me. For me, I typically recommend 2 months to a month before the wedding is plenty of time to have your gown altered if you don't need a whole lot of alterations. For gowns that are coming from McEllis Brides, since they're made to measurements, most cases all we're doing is putting a bustle on the back, which is going to pick up your train for your reception if you're going to wear your gown for your reception. If you need your gown to be taken in, a hem and a bustle, you might want to allow yourself a little more time. But typically for me, a month to 2 months is more than enough time to get alterations done. Another thing, if you are a bride that's on any type of like workout or weight loss program, you want to wait as close to your wedding as possible. And that's just because if you lose anywhere between 15 to 20 pounds and you've already gotten your gown altered, you're going to have to get it altered again. That's a dress size. That's a whole size. If you lose that much weight, you're going to have to get your gown re-altered, and that's going to cost you more money. So as soon as your gown comes in, some shops will go ahead and tell you just go ahead and get your gown altered now. But if you know that you plan on losing weight, I would wait, and especially if you have a couple months to your wedding, I would at least try to get in by that 2-month mark. Even sometimes 1 month if you are planning on having significant weight loss. If you just feel like you're going to lose like 5 pounds, go ahead and get it done. You probably won't need to make any adjustments. Also, if you are someone who knows that you just don't change sizes a whole lot, then yeah, you can definitely go ahead as soon as your gown comes in months before the wedding. You can go ahead and get your gown altered then. Of course, just try it on about a month before, just to make sure that everything is still fitting properly. I'm trying to think, was there anything else that you want to take into consideration? One thing that you may want to take into consideration is of course we can make gowns smaller. Sometimes making a gown larger is a problem if you are just ordering kind of off the rack or just like a stock size. You probably want to order one size up, just because there's not always enough seam allowance in a gown for it to be let out. You can always take it in up to about 2 gown sizes. So if you ordered a 16, we could take it down to about a size 12. But if there's not enough seam allowance on the inside, you may not be able to let that gown out. Then you'll have to add a panel, a corset back, or what's called gussets on the side. And if your gown is all over laced, then you have to try to find some lace that matches the lace that's already on the gown. So it just becomes a problem. But again, ordering from McEllis Brides, I think I've only had to let out a gown twice in 6 years. And that is because they're made to your measurements. And as long as you don't gain weight, you're fine. And typically, because everyone's on a weight loss type of program, you don't have to get your gown let out. I think one of my clients, she actually had to have surgery before her wedding, so she wasn't able to even do like her regular moving, so that's why she gained weight. And the other one, I'm not sure what happened. But anyways, so that is all. Those are all the tips for Wedding Wednesday. If you guys have any questions that you're just kind of wondering and you want me to do a Wedding Wednesday on, leave it in the comments, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye bye.